The Fulanis always think that out of all the various ethnic groups that we have in Nigeria, they are the smartest. It is only because the British gave them what we call an unfair advantage. This is simply why they seem to be the smartest. They are actually not the smartest. They are not even brilliant. They are not intelligent. Now, the Fulanis are now pushing their political heads to ask Jonathan the Weaklin to come out and contest come 2027. The same Jonathan they called the Ogogoro Master back then in 2012, 2013, 2014. The same Jonathan that formulated all manners of insurgents to frustrate his governance. The same Jonathan who built all various manners of elementary schools is now the one they are now asking to come out and contest so that he can depose Tinubu of his position. But let me tell the Fulanis one thing, that the eyes of the Southerners don't clear. Jonathan has no intention to run. Why are they not talking about Pitobi? Why are the Fulanis, why are the Sultans, the Sheikhs, the Umars, why are they not speaking on behalf of Pitobi, who had gone all the nook and crannies of the north? This is a man who was eating with them during their Ramadan. This is a man who has donated so many boreholes. This is a man who is young and agile. Why are the Fulanis not talking about Peter Obi but Jonathan? It is only for one reason and one reason alone. It is because Jonathan is a weakling. They understand that if a Jonathan comes back and they vote for him massively, just like he did in the back, he will come again and build all manners of elementary schools. And by the way, most of these elementary schools now have been converted to Moshalashi mosques. You know, a place where they pray. In fact, some of these elementary schools have been taken over by bandits. They now make it their own camps where they store their logistics, their bombs, their missiles. But again, the Fulanis think that the Yorubas, think that the Igbos, think that the Ijos, in fact, they think Jonathan himself is stupid. I've been seeing what is going on in the media just recently. We saw that the Punch has released a news that some Northerners have gone to see Jonathan. There's a conversation ongoing. They're saying that the Rufai is also writing Jonathan. They are saying, listen, these are all distractions. Let the South pick whoever they want as their own leader. The Fulanis are not going to be our chief decision makers in Nigeria. It's not going to happen. Enough is enough of these guys coming to manipulate our elections. You know, enough is enough of them trying to impose on us terrible leaders. Because as far as I'm concerned, even Jonathan wasn't such a fantastic leader. I would rather have a Peter Obi, right, or a Shawore than for me to say Jonathan to come. Jonathan, who didn't have the courage to decimate the bandits when they were just at their infant stage. Jonathan, who didn't have the audacity to call out those Muslim Umars and Umams and Malams and whatever they are called, Imams, who were preaching brimstone and fire in the north, saying that if Jonathan wins a re-election, they will make it ungovernable. Don't forget then, it was this same Fulani heads that were saying that so only Jonathan will now rule for 10 years over their dead body. They forgot how Jonathan was working assiduously with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, how he was working with Sanusi Lamido. Then they said they were going to remove the Shuapi. They were going to remove the subsidy to create a Shuapi. And we saw that majority of that savings from the subsidy removal was transported to the north. Major roads in the north were constructed. Many schools, elementary schools, many hospitals were built. All manners of interventions, financial intervention, conditional cash transfers were given dash to the Northerners. But at the end of the day, you know the way they paid him out? They paid him because they were religious bigots. They paid him with evil. They kicked him out. And then they brought in their brother, Buhari. So now today they feel because Buhari is gone. I think the Fulanis should just keep short and allow the Southerners to have that debate amongst themselves. This is not their own time. This is the time of the South. And within the South, we would have to choose between Southwest and Southeast, because South have actually had a time. This is either it goes to a Southwesterner or it goes to a Southeasterner. It is either a Peter Obi or a Showore, because a Tinubu shouldn't be there. But I understand that Tinubu is a man, when he grabs onto power, he is not going to release it if you don't cut off that hand. That's the kind of person he is. We saw how he has held old Lagos State resource and Lagos State governance for the past 24 years to 25 years. So if you want to unseat Tinubu from that power, it's not going to be the Fulanis. Look at them. Those guys that are shouting that Tinubu must go now, they are shouting that Jonathan should come. If Tinubu begins to drop backhoe bags of cash, dollars, within a snap, they start singing the songs of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So we are not distracted. We are not deceived by this, recurrent and perennial shenanigans. How they do, they always feel they are the power brokers because the Southerners are somewhat divided, and it is simply because the Southerners are educated. When the people are educated, they don't seem to just be one-way traffic. It's impossible. But you see that note. If one sultan comes out now and say that everybody go this way, boom, they all move like zombies. That is who they are. I mean, look at just recently what Kemi Badenoch says. She says she doesn't see herself in Nigeria because she cannot imagine associating herself with the northern Nigerians who most of the time have had their brain infested with Sharia law, that she would rather identify with the Southwesterners, which are the Yorubas. We have seen how Chimamanda Adichie has also come out to say that she would not like to be seen as a Nigerian, but she should be seen as an Igbo woman. It is simply because there are some sets, some clans who go out there to spoil the name of Nigeria, yet they want everybody to attach to that destruction they've brought to the name. Look at the bandits. They will build a school for them. You all should go to school. The same Jonathan who spent billions of naira to build nothing less than 200 Alimanjire massive schools. They say they don't want Alimanjire schools. That what they want is money, food, money, food, money, food. Today, Tinubu is giving them rice. They are saying no, they don't want rice. So they just want to be that voice, that noise. They just want to be that person that is the clog in the wheel of progress for Nigeria. And this is why the agitators like Biafras, this is why the agitators like Yoruba Nation we always say that Fulanis are the problems of Nigerian progression, because when you say you want to move an inch, they'll just tell you, or they just remove the mat under your foot and then you fall. They are always retrogressive in nature. This is why you see that those same imams and sultans and sheikhs in the north, you will never see them run campaigns against their state governors. You will never see them run campaigns against the federal government when it was failing, most especially on their Buhari. You never see them. What they do is just to pass parochial knowledge into their being, that what you have to do is you must go to Ile-Kewu, they call it elementary school. You need to go and learn Arabic. You need to do this. When you do it, God will be the one that will give you instead of them to tell them to guide them through that. It is your governor that you must hold responsible. That statement, hold your government responsible, is only applicable in the south. In the north, what they do is hold your God responsible. You can see how much the north is way behind. I agree Nigeria is not developed, but I must tell you that the southern Nigeria is 20 years ahead of the northern Nigerians in infrastructure, in education, in technology, in social life. So name it, in music, in entertainment industry, just name it. Even the agriculture that they claim they have, the south is way ahead. They just have vast lands, they don't know what to do with it. They have vast land mass which are supposed to be for agriculture. What have those land turned to? They have turned to fertile ground to harbor terrorists, insurgents, the Lakaruas, the ISIS, the ISWAPs. This is what the North has become. And as it stands today, the Nigeria of today cannot deserve to have another Weaklin like Jonathan. We need disruptive leaders like Showore who will come and say that we need to have a new constitution. Is either we go back to confederation system, we go back to regional system, or we practice what we call perfect federal fiscal federalism, where everybody will manage their resource, manage your policing system. So if they like in the North, maybe they buy themselves, maybe they do anything, it doesn't concern us in the South. A Jonathan cannot give us such destructive transformation. A Showore is a man for that. Or a Peter Obi can still give us what we call fiscal federalism. Because his people, as it stands today, majority of them are in the losing end. 95% of the Igbos are lovers of Biafra. One thing must be given to them for them to drop the fight for Biafra, and that thing is what we call fiscal federalism, whereby the resources, the natural resource they have, their oil and gas, truly becomes their own, and they are the one that begins to control what they have under their sword, and they will just remit a meager share of maybe 30% to 35% back to the federal government, and then the federal government can decide to maybe now take it to the North. They don't give a damn. But as it stands today, this current formulation, whereby you find oil in my compound, you find crude oil in my compound, this crude oil is 1 trillion naira. You now take this 1 trillion naira to the federal government in Abuja. Out of the 1 trillion that belongs to me, you now return to me 20 billion. And you expect me not to go mad. You expect me not to be mad or crazy or become a terror. There will never be peace. The Fulani pushing the Jonathan agenda is a divisive scheme they think they have perfected to distract and divide the South. Like, okay, after all, if Peter Obi comes, he might want to go for 8 years. You know, if Peter Obi comes, he might not want to do just 1 year. He might want to extend it to 8 years. The point is, Peter Obi has made it clear that when he goes into that position, his first agenda is to look into the tenureship of the presidency. Let us make it 1 term, and it should be 5 to 6 years, 1 term. And that is perfect for Nigerian democracy. If you make it a 1 term of 5 years or 6 years maximum, within 30 years, all the regions would have had a representative. For the last 24 years, it has always been either the Yorubas or the Fulanis. It has always been the Fulanis or the Yorubas. It was only by chance an Ijaman got there, and when he got there, they frustrated him. The Ijaman wouldn't have been given the baiting if not for the people like Showore who were shouting, Yaradua has died. We remember how Obasanjo was lying barefaced that this guy is still alive. He was feigning phone calls. Have you all forgotten? And all the spokespeople of the Fulanis, the Northerners, were saying, no, I just spoke with Yaradua. He's still alive. He's still this, he's still that. It was Dora Akuili that called Showore, my brother, this man is dead. And that is the blatant truth. And he took it to his reportage, to his reporting page, and he posted it. And within a couple of days, Jonathan became the president. And ever since he became the president, it started frustrating him. The bandits were all emboldened, started bombing Abuja, started bombing Plateau, they started bombing pipelines, all fueled by some political oligarchs in the northern Nigeria. Oh, today now they see that Jonathan is the best option. No, you're not going to give us that Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse deception. We reject it. It is a Peter Obi or a Showore or no one else. It's better for Tinubu to continue. Let him continue his 8 years. Say una talk, say una get ahead. The Fulanis will no longer be the major decider in the politics of Nigeria. We have woken up in the southern Nigeria. We are not taking our fate by our actions. Look at Shetima rambling, running helter-skelter, attacking Kemi Badenoch. What is your job with Kemi Badenoch? But Kemi has only stated a clear fact that Nigeria is failing. And it is failing because of religious extremism. It is failing because of corrupt politicians who take public funds into their own private enterprise. It is failing because the Nigerian people have decided to be quiet. The Northerners are uninformed because their leaders have intentionally kept them uneducated. They have intentionally kept them in bondage. They have intentionally used religion to cover their eyes for good governance. You see that anytime they want to go out, want to seek good governance, you just see one half will come out that it is on a Muslim, non-Muslim to protest. They'll start telling you that it is not the way of in accordance to Sharia for you to go against your leader, even when your leader is openly stealing your own patrimony, robbing you of your social birthright. Everything that is in Nigeria belongs to all of us. For as long as you are born on the soil in this country, you are born in this country, you call yourself a Nigeria, we are supposed to have that right, that equality of resource, equal share of the social, resource. But of course, these current politicians, what they want is a man who is weak like Jonathan to come again so that they can tune in a puppet he is, so that they can manipulate him, and he would now see it as a what? As a, if they eventually succeed, which I know they are not going to succeed, he will see it as a privilege. This is a gift, and he wouldn't want to offend them. He begin to do their own biddings. We don't want Jonathan. Enough is enough. This is coming from the southern part of Nigeria. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.